Get ready to discover the underground strategies for making real money and creating a life of passion and reward in real estate. It's hardcore, it's no BS, it's Agent on Fire.
I'm Casey and my daddy is a rock star.
Hello and welcome to Agent on Fire. I'm Mike Costigan, the Agent on Fire, and the guy that's going to help you get a ton of listings to make a ton of money so you can have some sustainable income. Because look, in real estate, the real truth that not everybody will tell you is that the only way to have any sustainability, any predictable income, any real sense of security and certainty is by getting listings. You can chase buyers like a dog chasing its tail, but you're going to lose money. More importantly, you're going to lose a lot of time, and you're never going to have any real certainty as to where your next paycheck's going to come from. With listings, it all changes. So I'm going to talk to you today about something that I'm very good at. In fact, I specialize in this. It's getting expired listings. I want you to learn how to just dominate your market when it comes to listing expired, because there really are no better, other than FSBOs, they're about the same, really. There really are no better prospects. These people have raised their hand, they've taken the step to put their home on the market, and they have failed. So when you're in a marketplace, when prices start to settle, when interest rates start to rise, when there's even talk about interest rates rising, expireds start to show up, and you need to be there to grab them, but you've got to be different. And there's really only 3 things you need to demonstrate to an expired listing in order to get them to line up to do business with you without you having to chase them down, by the way, like most real estate agents do. So the 3 things are radical change from what they've done before, proof of the radical change, and 3, ease. Ease in the process, but most importantly, ease in their decision to use you. So it's very easy to do. Easy in theory, easy in implementation. Maybe a little bit of a mindset shift for you. So I want you to consider how traditionally real estate agents work expireds. And it's a pretty low percentage shot for most. Most wake up in the morning at 6:30, 7:30, whatever early is for the average agent, and they start dialing. They start calling every expired in town. Now, you know when you're calling them, you've got the pit in your stomach, right? You know you're bothering them because you know that you're in this race to be one of the first 5 or 10 that call them, because there's going to be probably 100 throughout the day. Agents, bugs that call them. They're pests. And the call normally goes something like this. Now, see if you can relate to this, right? Hi, Mr. So-and-so. This is Mike Costigan, broker here in Atlanta, Georgia. I see that your home failed to sell, and I'm wondering if you're interviewing real estate agents. Now, there is no radical change in that conversation. In fact, it's like the caller before you, the caller after you, and 100 down the line. Most importantly, it's much like the experience they had really with their first agent who failed to sell. So why would they want to get back into this? And why would you want to be waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning and looking up people and calling people? It's no fun. It's a waste of your life, really. And it's not necessary. And it's not a shot that you'd want to take. Basketball players rarely take full court shots unless it's like Hail Mary at the buzzer. But yet real estate agents will get up and they will do it every day. It's so low percentage, it's not worth doing. Now, I've literally listed hundreds and hundreds of expired homes and sold nearly every one of them. So it's very good money when you know how to do this the right way. So let's talk about number 1. You need to show them something radically different, radical change from what they've experienced before. So what I do is I teach something called mass attraction marketing. It combines some old school sales techniques with a little bit of NLP and hypnosis. And don't worry, you don't need to understand NLP and hypnosis to be able to hypnotize people. You just need to understand a couple of the phrases that I'll tell you to implement. So it is a offer combined with a NLP and hypnosis infused conversation that really just future paces them into doing what you want them to do. But we're going to just talk about the offer today. So the very first thing that I send to them, by the way, there are ways of actually figuring out with some pretty good predictability, right? When properties expire, and you can actually start this mail campaign on the date that they expire, right? Like before they show up in the computer, you'll know they expire. There's ways to do that. I covered that in the Agent on Fire Blaze in some of my videos, but today we're just going to talk about the actual steps because I want you to understand the process and have a system down so you can have these coming in automatically. So I send a 4-page brochure, newsletter size, 8.5 by 11, 4 pages, front cover, back cover, 2 inside pages. Front cover, huge headline. Here's a headline that is going to totally change what they've been told by other real estate agents. Guaranteed 10 showings in the first 3 days, or I will not charge you a penny, or I'll reduce my commission, or home sold within 7 days, or you can just cancel the whole agreement, right? Something. Hit them right between the eyes. It doesn't matter what it is. Just keep in mind, we're talking about them. It's not about you. It's not about how great you are. It's not about Mike selling 400 homes a year, or Mike being in the Chairman's Club or the Hall of Fame, or being in $1 Billion Agent book. They don't care about that. They care about them. So you're going to write a brochure that hits them like really hard in the face with radical change. And then I'm going to elaborate on that offer with headlines, subheadlines. And again, I teach this in Agent on Fire, but I'm just going to, you don't even have to be an expert. Just elaborate on how you're going to do it. Keep focusing on them. On the inside, you're going to load it up with testimonials. Maybe you've only got a couple. Make them big pictures. Include pictures. This is a key thing to take away. Picture testimonials are much stronger than just word testimonials. They're more believable. This incorporates proof and radical change. So you're covering number 1 and 2 here, but we're going to further solidify proof in follow-up pieces. Okay, so I'm going to fill it up. So maybe you don't have any testimonials. So maybe you could go to your broker and say, hey, I'd like to talk to some past clients of the brokerage, get some testimonials of our brokerage to use in my advertising. Do that. Maybe you have people you've helped sell, maybe you've helped them as buyers. Hate buyers, but maybe you've done it. Okay, use them and just paraphrase something they've written, and don't talk about buying homes, just talk about how great you were in serving their needs, right? So fill it up. Add some more stuff on the inside. It's really just filler because all they really care about is that big headline and the offer that you're explaining and the social proof that backs it up. And then give them an easy way to call you and a command to call you. Call me here at so-and-so. I take on X amount of listings per X amount of expireds per month. Blah, blah, blah. Don't miss out. Call me. Okay, it's a really simple, it's an advertising looking piece. I don't normally advocate doing advertising on your first piece, but you've got to move very quick and dive right into an offer with an expired before somebody else hooks them. So number 2, and this is where the magic starts to happen. Number 2 is a letter in a regular old white envelope with a handwritten address, handwritten return address, which by the way should be your home address, and it should not have a company name, no Remax, Coldwell Banker, Century 20, whatever, Keller, whoever, Mike's Real Estate Company. It needs to look like a letter that has come from a friend. It needs to get open. It cannot look like advertising. It needs to have a stamp that you have licked and stuck on it and turned it a little bit crooked. Picture what something would come from that you would actually open when you pull it out of your mailbox versus the other garbage mail that you've sorted out. Needs to look like that. And the letter is going to go something like this. Dear so-and-so, I bet you're surprised I bet you're wondering why you're hearing from a neighbor about a real estate agent. All too often, we hear negative things about business people. But in this case, I want to tell you about how Mike Costigan really helped make my home sale easy after it failed the first time. It doesn't even have to say after it failed the first time. You're just going to use a client who was very happy with your services. We've all got at least one of those, right? Okay, it could, if it was just a buyer client, how Mike Costigan made moving so easy for us. And I wanted to pass this on so he can do the same for you. Here's the trick. You write the letter on behalf of your client and you just ask them to approve it and then you send it out. The client has to do nothing. Maybe you do some favor for them in order to get them to do this. Hopefully, you've just done a good enough job that they'll be willing to do it. My pitch is always, hey, I'm glad you're very happy. I do this because I'm grateful to help people like you. And I'm wondering if you'd be willing to help me help others by just spreading the word a little bit here. I'll do all the work. I'll write the letter, get you to approve it, and then we will send it out. I've never had anybody say no. This is such solid proof because no matter how great you say you are, it's never as strong as somebody else saying how good you are. 10 times better. So, third mailing piece that goes out very next day. By the way, they go out in succession. You've got to get expireds super quick. Third letter is a letter from me. And the letter restates my benefits. Hey, I know you received a letter from so-and-so the other day, a happy client of mine, copy attached, and then I staple it to the back of it, talking about my program. What we did for them was this, this, and this. If you'd like to take advantage of it, please call me now. I only list X amount of expireds per month, blah, blah, blah. And then the next day, I will write them a letter that says, hey, I'm about to give up on you. No, maybe I would say this. Are you crazy? I'm really worried about you at this point because people who don't call me regarding this offer, it's usually two reasons. Either they're really not great decision makers, or two, they don't understand the offer. So let me address number two so that we are perfectly clear. In other words, if you don't call now, you probably don't make smart decisions. Nobody likes to think that. Now, you may think this is too direct of an approach, but it's not. It's what expireds are looking for. They're looking for somebody polarizing, somebody very direct, and you can soften it according to your own style. But the point is, you have to be radically different. And so I attach a copy of the letter, so they've also got social proof and clues. Radical change, social proof, bam, in there. And then I say, actually, I'm sorry, I do this with every letter, by the way. The third letter would say, hey, copy of the letter attached from the client. The fourth letter that goes out would say, hey, or the fourth piece, which is the third letter, would go out and it would say, copy of two letters attached. I would attach them. And then my fifth letter and final letter is going to say, I'm giving up on you. I've tried to explain all the benefits of this, and here they are, and I reiterate the benefits to them. Right? I'm going to make it very easy for you to move. I'm going to let you sleep at night, take all the worries out of this. I'm going to get you the most money possible for your house, and we're going to do it fast. Talk about those benefits. And the fifth piece needs to be super strong. By the way, copies of these three letters attached so they see everything that you got. At this point, people will be lining up to do business with you. And when you show up at their house, they will have all of your letters. You are pre-sold, and that is the real benefit to this. You are pre-sold before you ever walk into that door. And in Agent on Fire, I will teach you the other part of massive attraction marketing, which is the conversation that you have when they pick up the phone and call you. Now, I will tell you that this is the strongest type of marketing you can do. The sequence, the offer, coupled with the conversation. The conversation is key. And I'll teach you that in Agent on Fire. This is so powerful that I once used this for a period of time with an application included in every piece. If you want to use me, you must fill out this application, send it in to me, which required them to A, scan it back in and email it to me, or B, hit a fax machine and send it to me. I made them put in the effort. To qualify themselves to me, they had to jump through hoops. And by the way, part of the survey was an acknowledgement that when I come over, we will be listing the home. We will be listing it for this term. And by the way, I charge more than other listing agents in town. I am the highest paid agent that I know. But you get great benefit for using me, and I need you to acknowledge this before I come over. And by the way, I do not cut commissions initial here. Simple as that. Guess how many of those people I listed who sent applications in? Guess how many? 100%. They're all ready to list. Before I get there, charge the highest fee, I'm out the door. So you see, when you're different, when you learn to just demonstrate that you're different, people they're just naturally drawn to you. And that's how you go from being an agent who sells a handful of homes a year and who's struggling looking for a paycheck to somebody who jumps up to the 100, 200, 300, 400, 500 plus homes a year, and life radically changes for you. So, hey, thank you so much for being here with me today. Listen, I want to give you an opportunity to get a copy of the Agent on Fire Blaze. It's my monthly paid newsletter where I teach these kind of things in detail. So all you got to do is go to agentonfire.com. Right in the middle of the page, there's just a little form. You put in your first name, your email address, and I'll instantly shoot that over to you. Or if you'd like to just go ahead and start receiving the Agent on Fire Blaze, you can go to startblazing.com. Anyway, thank you so much for being here with me. I'm so grateful to be able to help you, and I look forward to talking to you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.